We welcome you live here at Daytona International Speedway for Speedweeks for FedEx, which is combined with iCar for the first ever running at Daytona. In the booth, I am joined with Richard Cheery, and this is definitely going to be an interesting race to watch. Isn't that right, Cheery?
Yep, we saw a great race in the road course yesterday with the IndyCar Series where Bryce Benton took the checker flag over myself, and really excited to see what the ARCA drivers can do here today.
Yeah, certainly. Now, iCar has been going on for a couple weeks now. Last week's winner, Cameron Chandler, won South Boston. It's been a mostly short track racing. Now our first super speedway of the schedule, or big track in general. How do you think these drivers are going to tame this place?
Well, it's way different a short track from a super speedway, of course. So we are going to be able to see which drivers are more versatile to the others and how they are going to be able to prepare for tomorrow's Xfinity race and Saturday's Cup race at Daytona.
Yeah, certainly. Later tonight, we do have Xfinity practice for FedEx, and tomorrow, I believe, it's the trucks and Xfinity race. Then, of course, Saturday being the main event, the Daytona 500 for FedEx. So a lot of built-up energy around these drivers leading up to these final couple days.
Yep, as we are seeing now, as we are seeing cars on the racetrack right now, we see CJ Ehrman and Eli Tomlin in the number 90 car.
Yeah, as Fox is doing its thing. We're gonna patiently wait till we get into the session, and in time being, let's just run over what we're expecting to see as we are loading in live here at the World Center Racing. This might be one of the most intense races, especially with these new ARCA cars. We don't know how these drive. Last season it was the Gen 4 model, technically. So definitely going to be a lot more interesting. Bumper hooks, better drafting. It's just overall going to be a better race.
Yep, a lot more easier to push, as you said. Last year with ARCA Gen 4 cars, it was a lot harder, and therefore drivers had to be more cautious when pushing, because otherwise they would just wreck the guy in front of them and wreck the whole field. So it's going to be really interesting how the new car plays out.
Yeah, as we see, it is Ashton Miller in the 79, that Papa John's number, or excuse me, Papa John's Showtime Donahue motor vehicle. In front of him is Cole Clausen in the number 5, I believe, in that beautiful Culver scheme. So we already got 2 restaurants showing up on track. And further back, who is that gonna be? Can't really tell from this camera angle. That will be the number 10, which is not on the scoreboard. All right.
It's Cole Clausen and Aston Miller.
No, the dude behind that. Trenton Wilkin in the number 10, which that got fixed up, but guess he put in for the wrong number. With 20 minutes of practice, or almost 19 minutes left to practice, you're gonna see people kind of pushing, kind of get fast laps quick. Later on in the session, we'll probably see some wrecking, but... Oh, and bumper hooked! Hold it up in the wall goes Cole Clausen! He's gaining a little bit of air, which is weird, as that car comes to a halt in turn number 3 in the grass. That's gonna be one of many hits today, and as you see, more cars going out on track. Let's see, we got the 90 of Tomlin, and behind him, is that Erdman?
Behind him, yep, that's CJ Ehrman.
Nice to see these two. These are teammates, so definitely going to be, you'll see these in the earlier runs. Teammates are just going to be locked up, hitting fast laps, getting used to pushing, as they are slowing down. Oh, Andrew Stacy's trying to back up to a one car, almost over. Keeps it straight into the wall. 37 up into the wall again, up across the track, pow! In that Taco Bell number 37, ring the bell, he hit the wall. Pull up all the essentials for this. I need to remember who's on which team. We got 3-car pack here. Cameron Chandler, 94 of Erdman, and so, oh, he's blinking. And the 16 of Huntsicker, which keep in mind he does got to do a ice bucket challenge in the next 24 hours, so stay tuned for that.
Yep, we are doing that challenge again in the enormous 2025.
Yeah, the big 25, some say. Overall, just maybe it's 2015 to 2019 again. Who knows?
Yep, I mean, can happen. As the pack is coming to a tri-oval now, going at really fast speed, 3 cars only.
Yeah, top speed of these cars can almost hit 200 with the 3-car tandem.
Whoa!
I've seen it happen. Oh my God! It's up and over and lands on his roof. We might need to see a replay of that. Holy!
Yep. I was looking at the pack, and out of nowhere, Youngblood was just like flipping up and over on the grass. He's trying to do burnouts. What a cool way to do them. Whoa, yeah.
Up and over, barreling side over side. Man. See it for this early, Youngblood. Very interesting. Now 4 cars out on the track. I believe that is led by Matthew White. Yes, it is. And a white monster, number 18, Toyota Camry, as here comes Wilkin and Miller. Good tandem. Teammates 94, 96. Here comes Cameron Chandler with 3 others. Good pushing off a Huntsicker. The Cameron Chandler's rear bumpers. They're making it 3 to the line. I don't know if this is supposed to be a race or not, but Cameron does get it. Now,
this.
Bottom lane is definitely broken out more.
It's just a wild race coming into the back straightaway now, side by side, between Cameron Chandler and Eli Tomlin, and also Brendan Huntsicker and Andrew Stacy, with CJ Irma looking on as a spectator.
Yeah, now catching a 4-car tandem. Barely quick. So we're going to have some fast racing. This is definitely going to be noted. Current conditions for this race, which for a super speedway of this magnitude, doesn't really matter. We got a good, clear, crisp temp of 72 for April in Florida. Humidity's at 0, and we got north winds at 10 miles per hour. It is clear, sunny skies, and this race will probably go into the night, so conditions will cool down, but doesn't really matter. It's full throttle and pedal to the metal.
Yep. It's the hit of Florida. What a wreck!
Almost on his win.
As I was saying, it's a hit of Florida. You know, it's really cool for Florida. So yeah, it's gonna be as hot in the conditions as it's going to be on the racetrack.
The track temp is probably reaching up to 100 mile, or not 100 degrees. But once again, doesn't really matter. Oh, into the wall!
Whoa, yep.
Matthew White spinning on the apron. So the 94. Back up across the track.
Whoa!
Oh!
Yeah, he got absolutely annihilated by.
I think that was the 94.
Yep, Eli Tomlin. Yep, the night of Eli Tomlin. As cars are coming out of pit road right now.
Yeah, we still got one big pack out of turn 4.
Yep, just as a quick advice, Ethan, look at the M's. As we're seeing a wild race here coming into turn 2, as we see some smoke, I fear what might be going on here at this racetrack right now.
Such a big track, we can't really get everything in one. He gets turned up into the wall. Cameron, Wilkin, and I believe that's the two, all wrecked out.
Oh, 3 abreast, 2 cars in each lane.
Now back to 1 car on the top lane. He's gonna get helped by Miller. 55, who's that? That would be Nolan Crane. And the Aaron's Toyota. Oh! Bit of a side hit. That might leave a donut on the door later.
Oh, we got
beating and banging.
Yep, Payson Lace is doing promotion of his Twitter. On in iRacing, he's called Layson Mitzi. So that's really interesting. Payson, who won at Daytona last season in the Cup Series, as they're blinking. And he's going to, he's searching for that same success as he wrecks.
Around he goes. Oh, got some air. Oh, he's blinked out. This could be a, oh no. Up and over,
Yeah.
barrels. Through the grass and lands back on his wheels and is now stuck on the apron.
Yep. And we see a car also. I believe it's Bryce Benton who's gone flat out through the pit. I fear what he might do. I hope he doesn't kill the field. He doesn't. Man, this is why I pay internet.
Alright. And looks to be a pit party starting to form. We got
Yep,
11 minutes left. Here we go. Green flag for pit parties. Got a decent amount of cars. Operating at 18 cars so far in total for this race. As here comes Matthew White on the top, and this is being led by Ernman. 3 wide in the back, almost 4. As Miller was on the apron. Oh, bad pushes! 1 on the apron! Oh,
Yep.
Peter banging! Here they go!
That's a wreck.
Turn number 3. Hard in the wall goes to 94. Big crash. Up and over. It goes to 94. Side over side. End over end. It lands back on his wheels. Wow.
Yep, that was a huge wreck coming into turn 3, and we saw just a flip, a rare flip when it comes to, when we consider which cars are we running. It's common in trucks, not in the ARCA cars.
Oh my god, they're hitting the jump. Oh my. They have infinite amount of backup cars for this weekend because
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could pay for this. I mean, we probably made these out of cardboard, so I wouldn't put it past that. As another pit party starting to form. Less than 10 minutes left in the practice session, then we're going to get on to qualifying, then the initial race, which is 40 laps. So far, a lot of bumper hooking, which I expected. It's especially with those Toyotas, there's like a certain level. Hard of the wall goes that one. I think that was Keys, Brett.
Yeah,
As
here
the
come
green.
there's like the group of people at school in the hallways, the unemployed people at the hallways.
Yeah, these are the guys that hog up the hallways.
Yep.
Take a while for 4 as ratings look high. Number 55 is gonna get turned! Up into the wall again, wrecking down the backstretch. 1 car looking towards the inside, up and over! Oh my gosh, Andrew Stacy popped off another person's tire, I think. We might need to see a replay of that.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're wrecking in front, Andrew Stacy. Oh my gosh! Hit his teammate and just rolled and kept going. Smoke in front. Yeah, try to turn away. There's too much white smoke and man.
Yep, somebody. What?
The one thing we're all wondering for tonight, which I'm gonna say it now and I'm probably gonna say it later tonight, is when will the big one happen in the race? As they are going green.
It's I mean, it's a possibility every single lap, but I will say lap 32.
I'm gonna say bright and early with lap number 14.
Yep, I mean, it can happen on lap 1 even, so.
Depends, as they're bumper hooking right there, Cole Clausen gets loose, saved it. Oh, right baiting in for the wall, but I believe he saved it. Almost gets turned, yeah, Bryce did save it in the back. Bumper hooking for Matthew White in the 2 of Cole Wilson.
Cole Wilson pushing Matthew White really well there, coming into the trial right now. Cole Wilson, who runs the Xfinity Series in FedEx full time and is going to be a contender for the championship in that series.
Yeah, they're impressed right now. In Wild Racing, as here you were talking, Payson Lindsay made that move to the bottom to make it 3 wide going into turn 1. Now pushing hard. Oh, huge jump. Yeah, one up and over. They're making it further in front. One car almost over. That is the pile up that we were expecting.
I mean,
Braden's gonna hit the wall.
was that from the number 10 of Trenta Wilken? I mean, he was turned down completely on Eli Tomlin and wrecked the whole field there. That's inconceivable, I must say.
Coming into 6 minutes left, folks. Here soon we will have this thing going under the way, and perhaps probably one of the. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a good race. We might get a photo finish here.
Yep, it's really characteristic of the super speedways. In last season we had one, and we might have one this season.
Well, we didn't have one this week. Every super speed, every speed week race, we had a photo finish. From SRX, ARCA, Flux, Xfinity, the Cup. Then last night, didn't we have one technically?
Yep. Well, I mean, you could say it was a photo finish, but it was mostly a really close finish. It was an entertaining battle there at the end.
Up into the wall. Saved it, kept it off of everyone. As we look back towards the front of the field, Braden Huntsicker pushing Bryce Benton. Bryce Benton was really fast yesterday in the good old Indy cars, and he's just known for not Indy cars, but just road racing in general. Will super speedways be another chance to win, perhaps?
Yep, Bryce Benton is a really good road course racer, and he has improved a lot. His main issue was him just wearing the tires a lot sooner than everybody else, but he seems to fix that. And something that caught my attention last night is how well he will be able to traction coming up of the corner. So that might play an advantage on him in the normal racetracks.
Yeah, as we see draft days between the first 4 cars. Oh, one bad push from the outside line. That's going to get them separated. Bottom line's probably going to advance here. Cameron Chandler goes high to make it 3 wide for second. Bouncing off of each other. Stuck in the middle. He's going to be in the back of the field now. From the lead to the rear.
Whoa! What a huge wreck! Whoa!
Here comes Matthew White.
Yo!
Hard in the wall. Danica Patrick all over again.
Yeah, what a huge, and we have a huge wreck again in turn 4.
Staying on the ground.
Yep.
See Cole Wilson. into the wall hard and back across the track. That's probably a 10G impact. It was Sunoco number 2.
Yep, really unfortunate.
Yeah, how much people are we reading there, Richard?
I must say like 10 people, maybe.
I mean, for the whole race counter, I'm seeing
Oh,
possibly over 20.
yep. And don't count me because I'm not racing. It's just because it's more convenient for me. So it's gonna be a wild field, one of the largest in iCar history, and that's gonna play out in strategies and stuff for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how much fuel we have in these cars. I think you could check it for us, Richard. But I think pit stop will be will be needed, if I'm not mistaken. I think these cars hold about 30 laps of fuel.
Might be, yeah, more or less 30, 31, 32. So it's gonna be really key as we see a spin coming out of turn 2. It's gonna be really key of how to save fuel. We're gonna see people in the back in order to do so, and we're gonna see people at the front, but those people are gonna have to wait longer for their pit stop because they're gonna have less fuel as we see more and more wrecking, and we see an intentional wreck even.
Yep, and got some air out of turn 4. Let's pile back onto the front of the field. But guaranteed, we're gonna probably see a pit stop. If not, oh my gosh, they're wrecking in the back, but they stay later in the back.
Whoa!
Right. Matthew White currently leading Bryce Benton as a wrecking further in the back as the 90s. Who is that? Who's in the lows? I think that's Ryan Davis, right?
Let me check out.
Yep, that is Ryan Davis in the 91.
Yep, Ryan Davis is the legend. They even invented an award for him, and he's gonna be racing here tonight.
Jimmy Johnson is back.
Jimmy Johnson!
As we got 43 seconds left, let's go back onto the main field. They're trying to set fast laps, I believe. That's Miller.
Jump on the second to jump. I fear what might happen. He's flying. He's going to the bench, and he's flipping.
Yep. So back up to the front 3. We're probably gonna see. Oh wow, 3-car tandem down the back.
Hope they don't wreck.
Yeah, they make one wrong push. Oh, and he blows it. Benton blows the motor.
Yeah, you have to figure out the limits of how much you can push as Kevin Kenner comes into the pit at 180 miles an hour.
1970s. Let's go. Oh, oh my. All right, that will suit for practice. Qualifying is up next. I believe we have a 1-lap quality, if I'm not mistaken. So this is right out of the pit road, just full throttle. They got 5 minutes to do so. Let's see who gets on pole for tonight.
Yep, as we see Matthew White coming out of the pits. There's no tire chasing whatsoever, so it's just gonna come down to both luck and drivability also in the sunset.
Yeah, you're gonna see people riding the top 3 and 4 to gain momentum down the front stretch, to then hook it to the bottom immediately. That is the way to do it. As we saw, Miller slow. Is he tire cheating? He might.
What are we talking about?
Ashton Miller. I think he was tire cheating.
I don't know. I mean, he's going flat out at 172 miles an hour coming to the start-finish line, and he's going to start his attempt right now.
As our cameras get to him. Grant Wilkin in the number 1 car, down into turn 1. Hook the bottom. Here's Andrew Stacy. Stacy a little bit off the bottom. So is the 96 or 94. Miller not on the bottom. Ryan Davis is on the bottom. You got to hook that line very, very tightly.
Yeah, because you don't want to gain meters. You want to actually lose some meters as the Aston Miller approaches turn 3 and 4 to complete his qualifying attempt. So far, no mistakes whatsoever, because you can hit the apron and you lose a lot of time in the as Aston Miller approaches the start-finish line on the Papa John's machine.
Yep, here comes Trent Wilkin for his lap, cut in the apron to gain a little more time. I believe he's going to go top of the board as, let it circulate, maybe. Yep, Wilkin P1, Miller P1 by now Youngblood P1. They're wrecking. Oh my gosh, Ryan Davis up and over. Matthew White now top of the board.
Yep, Ryan Davis stuck in the wall.
Bryce Benton's second, Tomlin third, Youngblood, Chandler top of the board. Now Wilson.
Yep, Cole Wilson on top of the board by 1/1000 of a second. And there is a tie in P2 between Nolan Walker and Cameron Chandler as Nolan Crane in the Mark Morton machine comes out of the pits.
Yeah, on our scoring board, it shows that Walker has the advantage. He is just barely beat Chandler, as it seems like no one else can beat that fast Cole Wilson. So far, the fast 7 are Wilson, Walker, Chandler, White, Benton, Tomlin, Youngblood.
And Logan Jeepers gets the pole so far by 4/1000 of a second. And Brendan Hunziker.
Did Brady get it? He dies! What a lap!
Yep, 37/1000 of a second as Nolan Crane is in turn 1 and 2 right now.
Yeah, minute 30 left in this qualifying session. So far, we have some surprise names hit the top of the board, especially Giesbright. I not saying no self-doubt or whatnot, but man, might have to call him the qualifying merchant now. Matthew White.
Yep.
We see Nolan coming out of turn number 4. He's a little bit off the bottom. Crane. See, not cutting the apron. This will lead him
6.
6. Yep. Man, what a lap by Hunziker, though. I don't think anybody's getting to him.
Yeah, I mean,
70, McMillan.
There are 37 seconds to go in this qualifying session, so there is little time to answer the time of Brendan Hunziker. There is a lot. The top from 3rd to 6th, as you saw, equal to 1/1000 of a second between the 3 positions. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, certainly down the backstretch for McMillan. With less coming to 10 seconds left, will he make it? Actually, no, he will make it.
Oh, he might not. Nope, he doesn't.
Well, that is it, and your starting lineup for your starting lineup here in iCar / FedEx. Their top 10 are Hunziker, Giesbright, Wilson, I can't speak today. Walker, Chandler, Crane. Oh, here we go. Ooh, good graphics. So row 1, Braden Hunziker and Logan Giesbright. Switch. There it is. Row 1, of course, 2 fastest guys here.
Row 2 is Cole Wilson and Walker. Row 3 is Cameron Chandler and Nolan Crane. Row 4 is Matthew White and Bryce Benton. And top 5 to close out the top 10 is Eli Tomlin and Wyatt Youngblood.
Yeah, certainly. Is that... I can't read everybody else, so you're gonna have to go through a whole list.
Yep, the next row in 11th place is Aston Miller in the Papa John's machine. In 12th place is CJ Erdman in the McDonald's Blue Machine 94. 13th is Trento Wilkin in number 10. 21, Brian Reyes is starting in 14th place. 15th is Andrew Stacy. 16th is Ryan Davis, the last one to qualify. And then those who didn't set a time is Payson Lindsay, McGrath, Cole Clausen, Davin Roberts, and Ethan McMillan. That's your 21 car field for today.
Yeah. We got 40 laps around this. I don't remember how much miles this is. It's just a big track, all right? Every short track that we've gone to, you can probably fit every single one and have so much space probably for duplicates. That's how big this track is. Not as big as Talladega, but still, as they're rolling.
You can fit like 3 of your nearby public schools if they are big enough, and there still would be a lot of space left to do some stuff with the terrain of this racetrack.
Indeed, you could probably fit a whole boat in here. Put it on the Lloyd. Rolling through turn 1 and 1 now. As our pace car, Ford Mustang, iRacing mobile, leading the field. Definitely going to be a very interesting race. Is patience going to be the #1 thing today, or will people just, or will these drivers try to get as much positions as possible so if they do run into a fuel saving, they have the upper hand on positions? Because most of these fuel races go is you try to get most positions first, start fuel saving as 2 cars are banging or rubbing doors towards the back. I believe that's a 96 and a 94. But it's just going to be all on who can get up front the quickest, I guess. You want to be ahead of the wreck, or do you want to be behind it?
You want to be ahead, because behind there are still some things like a car just going down the banking, some car just piling into you behind. So you have to avoid no wrecks at the front, or it depends really, but you want to be in front of the wreck. That is different mentalities though. That's why we can see wrecks also, because some people want to go to the front and some people want to go to the back. So Connor, bring us to the green.
All right, locked and loaded. Here we go through the tri-oval. This is the first race for the FedEx ARCA Series, and ARCA's iCar is green here at Daytona. Starting to get more and more cars. Top line's slowly dying out, but they are still keeping pace. As you saw the 94 duck in line on the bottom. Fuel strategy is probably people find. Oh!
Yep, he saved it as here tries to come Cole Wilson 3 abreast.
41 for the race lead. Braden Hudsinger down the middle has help from the 77.
Yep, and some people are hitting the wall on the outside. Logan Givers is dropping a lot of spots, so does Cole Wilson.
Yeah, now they are single file for the first couple positions. That went from looking to be calm to now they're running over. Cameron Chandler leads lap 2 of this 40-lap race. Behind him is Matthew White, and here comes Trenton Wilkin on the outside with Braden Hudson, 77 of Aiden Walker, I believe, behind him. That Aiden Walker?
Now they have settled 2x2 across the whole field, except for Cam and Chandler and Matthew White, who are just pushing each other, and they have pulled a small gap between them and the rest of the pack.
Yeah, but now they have loosened each other now. They're not going to have that big of a run, but here comes the main pack coming through. 90 completed. Here comes Vulcan on the outside. Big time momentum. Towards the mid and lower end of this pack. Just people trying to not hit the person in front of him, especially with how big the checkups are in these cars. You just got to be on edge for it.
Yeah, you have to be really careful because otherwise that's damage to your car at the very least.
And ever since iRacing added these cars, it's been pushing would get you damaged real quick and a 4X. So you got to be really concerned on how you push and where you push it at. As you see the 90 closing in on Matthew White. He's looking high, but he's going to stay behind Matthew now.
Yep, as Ryan Davis has lost the pack. As this Nolan Crane just hits the wall there by himself coming into turn 2.
I believe that's the second time today, or in these first couple laps, they hit the wall. I wonder if there's something wrong with that wall. As you see the 90 looking high, I believe he's coming up to the top line. Nothing there though. Vulcan, Huntsicker, and the 77 just so far back. That high side is just gonna die out unless these two. Whoa! Big checkup! See if that happened with the push out of the trioval as the 37's coming back up the track. Everybody manages to hang on to it as Youngblood is gonna probably lose the pack and fall in line with Giesbrechen. But Mal up front, still Cameron Chandler and Matthew White.
Almost on pace to make it 3 abreast back in the pack with Pace on Lindsay and Bryce Benson into the 3 wide with Matt Grab just looking on as an spectator.
Yeah, Matt Grab is definitely going to be playing this a little bit smart after losing the ARCA championship last season to a early wreck at Dega. Was it no, it was a truck trophy. Never mind. But no, he's won and wins. There's a lot to his name. He is a really good driver, and I believe right now all he's doing is patience as they're in the second pack. Pace Lindsay they're wrecking down the back. They're gonna yellow. Caution comes out. Pace and Lindsay around, keeps it off of everyone, and we have our first caution of the race. Let's see what happened.
Yep, it was a really strange situation. Pace on Lindsay just went to the wall and loses it, overcorrects, and gets Bryce Benton collected into it and almost back grab, and he does a really cool ass 360.
Yeah, I wonder if he just. I haven't seen this for long. Oh yeah, Wilson was running, I think, and Wilson was right there, and man. Kept that out of the racing line, so definitely good on his part.
Yep, he's gonna have a discussion though to use. Oh, he says he's game froze. That's why he hit the wall there, and he was really distracted trying to get the game back going. So, but that's not I mean, in Daytona you have little time to fix that before you end up in a wreck. What is the field gonna do now? Are they gonna pit or are they gonna stay out?
Say they're gonna pit. Even if you're not gonna make it on fuel, might as well take and top off and just save under pace laps.
Yep, you wanna have track position also.
That too. Also, as you saw, Logan was the second place qualifier, started second, and now is all the way in 19. As you see a couple cars staying out. Cameron Chandler does lead us down. It is the 94 and the 90. Nope, not the 90, the 96. Erdman and Stacy playing some strategy. They come in their pit boxes. I would say fuel only for most of these guys. Wilson may have just missed his box. No, he didn't.
Cameron Chandler takes tires.
Yeah. Matthew White gets out on top of everybody. Cameron losing. He's lost about 10 positions. Excuse me. He's lost 10 positions by taking tires. I don't see why he would need them though.
Well, I mean, you might as well gain a small advantage on the whole field by having that little bit more grip, even though Daytona doesn't really matter, especially at this new, well, quote unquote new, because this pavement is like 13 years old. So, yeah, just not as noticeable as the old Daytona where it was really bumpy and where tires really mattered.
Yeah, this pavement is, I think it's closing in on 20 now.
Oh, it was repaved in 2011.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was. Never mind. But yeah, now as they're going over to the fresh paved area, thanks to Juan Montoya by hitting a jet dryer. Yeah, this track used to be one of those situations where you're full throttle all the way around, tires mattered from every bump, very aggressive through the bottom and top. Middle line was the less bumpiest of them all, but wasn't the fastest. I believe they're coming to 1 to green.
Yep, they're coming to a choose cone.
Yep, choose cone at the line. Gonna be Erdman, Stacy, White, Tomlin. Someone's coming down. Wilkins coming down to top off. As you see, choose cone. Most people are staying bottom. Got a few takers up top. That's going to be a lot of track position. Yeah, Matthew White with Miller, Walker, and I believe Nolan. Yep. As you see, teammates lined up 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. So a lot of helping use on the bottom ball. Also, Matthew White is affiliated with TCMC is affiliated with Showtime. So you got that duo up on the top. And Cameron Chandler, after taking tires, will find himself all the way back in the 14th position.
Yep, we don't know how that's gonna affect him. Whether if he's really unlucky and gets caught up in a wreck, he's gonna regret his decision of taking tires in that pit stop.
Yeah, certainly. Just at some part of him has to be thinking, why did he take tires? We might ask him in a later caution if that was a move or not, if he gets wrecked out or makes it through. We'll see as they're in turn 3, coming to the green flag for a restart, and it's only lap 10. They're coming to 11. We have good 29.
40 laps. 30 laps to go. 30, 29.
Yeah, coming. Yeah. Here they go. As the iRacing pace car will duck low down to pit road. Erdman, White.
Green.
Green flag waves for restart. Bottom lane prevails. Matthew White really did not get a good start there.
Yep, the outside lane just got a poor restart right there, and now they are getting single file really quickly. Well, never mind.
Yeah, you spoke too soon there.
Yep.
Huntsicker and Matthew White on the top. They're gonna have help from Miller. That just ducked high. This and 3 wide now. Back down to 2 wide.
Back to 3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide now. Now the 2.
Yep. He was really changing a lot in just 3/4 of a lap.
certainly. So far, one caution out of these first 12 laps. And it wasn't even for a big wreck. It was just little complications, got caught up in the wall and spun around. Now outside lane is lined up, but here comes the bottom. Oh, another car got the wall! I believe that was Ryan Davis. As they keep it straight back there, Bryce Benton sending him 3. And here comes the 21 in the 79.
That's right, there is still on the outside, they're almost hitting the wall. He's gonna keep it straight, however.
Got a lot of issues out of turn 2, so I wonder if their cars is getting a little bit tight throughout turn 2. But they're 3 wide, Cameron barely tagged the wall. Matt Grab is going with Cameron Chandler. And Cameron definitely made up the ground he's lost. Now in 8th.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, applauding to him. As Ryan Davis catches the wall again! Yep, now he's getting to the bottom.
Yep, he had enough of hitting the wall there at the top and just wants to go to the bottom. I have a chance to win this race.
I wonder what's happening. I wonder if their cars are just sliding up. Bit of a checkup.
Yep, here's when it gets really scary.
On the apron, that's 96 of Andrew Stacy. The 3 wide in the back as well. Still, this outside line is dominating. Bottom lane trying all that they can do to get to that, to be side by side with that outside lane. I'm surprised they ain't side drafting right now.
I'm surprised too. I mean, the side draft is just really powerful in this car, more so than in any other race car. You can side draft the... if you're fighting for the win and you can side draft the guy besides you, you can win the race for sure. It's just a really powerful technique in this car.
Yeah, we're talking car racing in general. Draft is the main use for passing here. Like IndyCar and Formula 1, which they have half the rules in DRS for Formula 1. These cars, you have to use draft to get around people, and you just gotta know when to use, know when to push your car to get just to their quarter panel to side draft, as we see with the 94 taking a 3 wide. Here comes the 90. Help to the middle. They are 3 wide. As the 90 does not result in the favorite, but the 94 did get motion. Here comes Cameron Chandler to the outside. Helped by White. Matt Grab is pushing Braden. Bit of a checkup in turn 1.
Yep. Things are really sketchy right now.
Yeah, remember Cameron Chandler is on the front tires, as I just saw the 90, I believe, caught the wall briefly. But yeah, next caution, we're gonna probably have to take an interview with these guys. Ask what's happening out of turn 2, because we've got, what, we've seen like 3, 4 cars now hit it now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really wild to see how these guys are hitting the wall every single time. For the interviews we might not have, unfortunately, for tonight. Let's see if Ethan can figure out to go to the black box, to press F10, and to type in where it says at interview 1, interview 2, interview 3, interview 4.
As we see, Walker is now the new guy on the bottom. As Matthew White ducks low to pass Cameron Chandler, 2 monster cars are out front.
Yeah, a lot of monster energy cars in this league across all series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks and ARCA too.
That is his full-time sponsor. The simple paint scheme, but good to see here at Daytona.
Yeah, really recognizable. You can see a Monster Energy black car, and you immediately go Kevin Chandler. That's something few people can achieve.
Indeed. As we said about 7 laps ago, that top lane was dominating, bottom lane is now bottom lane leading. Cameron's doing everything he can. Now he's gonna, I believe he's gonna start side drafting. Or not, he's just gonna keep getting pushed. We're definitely gonna probably see a lot of aggressive side drafting later on in this race. I'm sure of it, as we're riding on board with Cameron. Kind of riding up on that lead. He's gonna come low a little bit. Is Andrew Stacy on the bottom of him. Now here comes a big surge of momentum down the back, entering turn number 3. You just gotta get top lane is where all the momentum is. It's the you get straight more quicker than the bottom, and you got a lot more time to just full throttle and try to hook up with whoever behind you. Out of 40. So far, next lap is halfway. One caution. And Matthew White has been up front most of the day. Remember, later tonight is the second practice for Xfinity. So, that will be their last practice. Then the race is tomorrow. Stay tuned for that on Ethan Trendler's channel, and go follow the FedEx Series Instagram. Maybe you're in the Discord. The Discord link is probably below this in the description. Maybe if you want to join or just become a fan, be there. Get daily updates on what's happening. And you'll be locked and loaded. Streams always get posted, so in there, good, calm community. We'll be glad to have y'all. That bottom lane still prevailing. Walker behind him. Is that Roberts? Far in line. Man, I remember seeing Cole Wilson in that Mountain Dew paint scheme. Weird to see Cole Wilson now in a Sunoco. That's Jerry's car. Less than halfway to go, 19. What can this outside lane do? Maybe get back to the front, because they are losing a lot of track position.
Only momentum from the outside. Kevin Keller now sitting behind the 77 of Nolan Walker and the 18 of Matthew White. That was a huge run by that outside lane.
Yeah, but now Braden had to cool his front nose off, make sure he doesn't blow up. Now all that momentum, it's still lingering. You just gotta lock up for a good lap and a half, and that's when the car blows up. And all that momentum is gone.
They might be able to get it back though, coming into the back straight away as Ryan Younglebaloo just jumps outside that line and gets momentum there.
Yeah, definitely gonna help a lot. So Braden goes down as they are all in now. Bottom lane still stacked up. Coming into 17 to go. When is it where these drivers saying it's time to go?
It just takes a lot of patience and a lot of thinking in order to just think that. I mean, some drivers want to avoid a wreck and be up front, and some just want to go flat out. So it's just really different mentalities at these type of racetracks that are really notorious.
Yeah, the thoughts that are going through these drivers' heads probably completely different. people are probably wondering when that big one is gonna happen. And so far, my pick was wrong. Lap number 14 was Green Flag Racing. So it, taking time bomb, some people say it can happen at any given lap, any given corner, even on the straightaways. It's there, but here, and who else is here? It is Youngblood, surging on the outside with Cameron Chandler. Bottom lane, they have a clear Cameron down the bottom, they're wrecking! 37 goes around, saves it, never mind, almost up and over! Back up onto the racing groove, he slides to a halt. We are still green, I believe.
Yep, only one car that didn't collect anybody else, so we keep it green.
Yeah, he almost flipped off of the bump, but now back to the lead. Matthew White is now on the outside with help from Matt Grab. Bottom lane is a little bit separated between Cameron and Hunsicker. Matthew White going down to the bottom. Now Matt Grab is our new leader here at Daytona with 16 to go.
Yep. Matt Grab, who was at the back earlier in the race, now it's a front lead that was getting pushed by Bryce Benson.
Yeah, Bryson, here comes Rain though, with help from Payson Lindsay, our first caution of the day. He's back up towards the front. As you see, more cars going towards that top lane. I think it's their cue to go with 15 to go. These pushes are going to get more aggressive. Now side drafting taking place. Wiggle out of Nolan Crane.
Yeah, comes the outside lane with some momentum. They might get all of the momentum as the inside is just like separating a little bit. There are only 5 cars, but more cars might join to that lane. Now coming up turn 4, Braden Hunsicker going to the outside on the trial while Payson Lynch is still leading. Cole Wilson in second, Payson tries to block. He doesn't, and he's gonna get hang out.
Right up on the top lane. Payson Lindsay trying to go with Matthew White. Matthew White now ducks back down low. Olin Walker still on the top.
There was possibly some momentum on the inside. He's been able to pass Payson, Matthew, and Cameron, so might be able to maybe even do a comeback and come back up to the front. So we see 3 abreast back there.
Making sure I'm getting the names right. Alright. Now outside lane completely dead with 12 to go. Now someone's gonna have to jump to the outside and try to make something happen. Because this race is not going green completely. I'm calling it. There's gonna be at least 1 caution coming out here soon.
Well, you don't know. You might have a clean race as this Nolan Walker gets a huge shove from Matthew White as Ryan Davis just blocks absolutely that run. How many of them forcing into a trial now? You see 2x2 now a little bit outside, trying to get that momentum. Inside staying prominent here in this race. Brendan Hunsicker is leading Cole Wilson. Is in second. Davin Roberts, after being 3 laps out at some point in the race. Ryan Davis loses it. 4th, Nolan Crane, and 5th is Matt Grab. That was almost huge wreck there. Back in the pack, Ryan Davis just getting loose coming off turn 2. He saved it and we keep it green.
Yeah, bottom lane still.
flag is out.
Yep, that's a caution.
Nolan Walker spinning sideways. There goes Andrew Stacy towards the wall. Hits it. 2-car wreck with 11 to go. Not much damage on these cars either. So they're probably going to be able to get back in this race.
Yep, you're gonna see the wreck now in the replay. Just wanting to make it 3 abreast are not working, and therefore collects the whole field. Matthew White does a great save.
Yeah, certainly. Just aggressiveness from these drivers, especially now this late in the race. As you see, Jason Duxlow there, and they wreck in front of him. Oh, ARCA Braves. That's what we so call it. And just, is he gonna kiss it? Yeah, he kisses it. Man, just not checking up in time. Unfortunate for a couple of these guys, especially Matthew White, as Stacy hit a wall that I never knew you could hit. He hit an odd part of that wall. As do we have any takers?
A lot of them.
Yeah, certainly probably coming in, top off, and get back out on the racetrack. Couple people for damage. Walker's one of them. Matthew White's probably in as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he is. Rear end completely gone. Much of a race off pit road. Braden is our leader. Our pole center is now back up front. Question is, will he stay up here? That's gonna definitely be the challenge here today. Top 10, Hunsaker, Wilson, Grab, McMillan, Clausen, Reyes, Benton, Miller, Giesbreiten, which fell to the back and now is back up to 9th, then Youngblood, which spun out early around halfway. As they are coming to the choose cone, I believe this time by. Which we're going to be restarting with 7 to go in this race. And should we do picks to win it? As Cheery, I believe, left the booth. I'll get picks to win later on. So here they come to the choose. It's gonna be, I believe Braden's gonna be on the bottom. Yep, and a lot of cars on the bottom too.
Yep, there is one car, Reyes, without a front bumper.
Yep. Do we want to do picks to win?
I think it's gonna be McGrath.
I'm gonna go with Braden. Qualified on the pole today, and he's back to the front, so I believe we can pull it off here.
Almost nailed the lap of the caution. The caution came on lap 30, 31, and I said 32, so that was a pretty good guess, I guess. So
yeah, it wasn't the big one though, so that's still lingering out here.
Yep.
Now down the backstretch, I say we can pull in someone for a quick interview. Don't you say?
Yeah, let's do it. We have Cole Clausen in general, so let's just drag him here.
Yeah, let's pull Clausen into here.
Well, we have to be quick though.
Cole Clausen, welcome up to the, this is Richard and Connor up in the iCar racing booth. You got me? I think he has us. Alright, we gotta move him back quickly.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, never mind.
I think our cell towers went down, perhaps.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna turn 4, coming back to the green. Coming to 7 to go. Will things start ramping up? Let's find out as the 21's missing his front bumper, but green flag! We're back racing here at Daytona.
Yep, there are a lot of things in stake for Brian Reyes, and we are not talking about his bumper or his car.
Yeah, I wonder if he knows his front bumper is gone.
Yep. Well, it doesn't seem to affect him at all. McGrath is just having a lot of momentum from that outside lane, and he's on the lead right now.
Yeah. 7 to go. Matt Grapp to the front. Started in the rear. So far, he might be doing a last to first challenge. The 15 around, the 37, the 21. Caution's gonna come out, and the big one happens with 7 to go here at Daytona.
And not the big one, that's the huge one. A lot of cars. I can count at least 8 cars involved in that wreck.
Yeah, bad bump on Cole Wilson's side to Huntsicker. Just spreading out further from there. There's about 10. Oh, Wilkin got a little bit of a piece of it towards the end of this wreck. Got an onboard from the 21. Not going to see much here. Just got pounded into the wall and got hit a couple more times. Oh, and just not on the brakes. Can we get a slow-mo shot of that? Whole wreck.
At that point, you're just praying for your life in order to not be involved in the wreck. Fortunately, most of the field was involved.
Right here, just a little bit of a bad push. Miller's involved. Right. Youngblood slides through 15, spinning up towards the front of the field. Such a unfortunate push, and I told you, bumper locking and just a bad push in general. Oh, got some air. No fast repairs, remember, so
It's race over.
yeah.
A lot of cars going to the Dell Jr. backyard, or graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, Miller got some air, and his car looks pretty much fine. All I see is some right rear damage.
let me see his race car, cause I mean, yeah, he has barely any damage. It's just a little bit, which he's going to repair, obviously.
Yeah, Youngblood's day might be done as his right front is very sideways.
His
so
left
55.
His left front is just really is loose, so it's over.
That grab does lead the field. I believe we have still about almost 15 cars. Youngblood's day is done. Just unfortunate. I guess my pick is out of the race, so. Ugh. Alright, let's see if we can pull someone up on the booth.
Right now, we sure can. We're gonna try to talk to Carl Clausen once again.
If he's even here. Actually, no. let's pull McMillan in here.
All
He's
right.
up in the top 10, so. McMillan, it is Connor and Richard up in the iCar racing booth. You got us?
Yep.
So, after that wreck, you've landed yourself in the top 3. How'd you make it through that?
Honestly, just kept my foot in it and prayed. I really just was trying to stay as low as I could. I didn't even know what was happening at first. There really wasn't any rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, as we see, choose cone. You're going bottom. Stay with Matt Grab. How are you gonna try to win this thing?
Well, the bottom line has worked all day. I'm kind of hoping sticking to the bottom line works. I have not ran, I don't think, a lap on the high line. So, we're gonna see how much that continues to work.
Yeah, certainly. We've seen a couple guys hit the turn 2 wall on the outside, so bottom lane might be preferred. Richard,
Yeah,
you got
maybe.
anything
They've
for 'em?
hit some stuff on the high there.
Nope, I don't have anything for Ethan McMillan. Just good luck for this restart with 3 laps to go.
Yep, thank you guys.
Good luck. As that is Ethan McMillan, driver of a 70 car, which is starting on the bottom lane behind Matt Grab. So far, about same reaction. Kind of kept the foot on it and got through it.
Yep, that's sometimes the best decision. Decision.
Just like a famous ARCA quote. I'ma just pray I see a checker flag or God, whatever that one was. I just messed it up. I know. And these screaming American muscle engines. Can't find them anywhere else other than America. And we got 3 more races to go here at Daytona to seal the deal in Speedweeks.
Yep. Used, like 15 cool ass V8s of 5.7 liters of engines. So they're coming to the restart.
Yep, coming back to the restart zone. We're gonna have 3 laps remaining. This might be a natural green-white checkered. Green flag!
And Matt Webb just gets way ahead of the whole field. That's gonna actually be go. That's gonna be bad for him because he'll be past here. However, he doesn't. He goes to the outside and he's getting really pushed by Cole Wilson in the 2 car.
Yeah, bottom lane now hooking up. Ethan McMillan with Cole Clausen. We were just talking to him, and he's saying just keep it on the bottom, and he might win this race. As Cameron Chandler is going to go 3 wide with Roberts behind him. Pace and Lindsay stuck on the outside. First 3 cars get around Wilson to the bottom of Mac Grab.
Yep. As you
Coming into 2 laps to go.
we see few people at the outside lane. Now we see the whole field on the outside lane. Eli Tomlin pushing Matt Grab, who takes the lead now, coming into turn 1.
Yeah, Eli Tomlin has a teammate up here as well. They're going to drop to the bottom.
Whoa!
Oh, they're catching the wall in the back. Payson Lindsay bounces off it, keeps it straight. Now, Matt Grab has help from Cole Wilson.
Yep, back there they're going really wild. Yep, that's a caution. That's a 2-car wreck.
I believe that's Andrew Stacy in the 77, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's the 60. No, it's the 88.
Yep, as we see a lot of damage on Andrew Stacy, who was involved in that wreck, and on Logan Gilbert, who he just has a lot of suspension damage. We're gonna have the first of maximum of 3 green-white checker finishes.
Yeah, as we've seen the replay, just looks like that checkup on the bottom. Stacy came home, it was not clear and up into the wall. They both go. Missed call, but I believe for the spotters maybe, or just a quick reaction. But man, could not quite make it back to the white flag. Yeah, it's check up on the bottom and just pow.
Just drivers fighting for the win at the end of the race, and just getting involved. That's wrecked those two cars. As that's really unfortunate for Mac Grab, who is leading the race right now, but who wanted to see this race go green for sure because he had the perfect plan. He had a great restart, and he's also having a lot of momentum from Cole and Eli Tomlin.
And no one's gonna probably be going down pit road other than cars that have damage or had damage. As we see Matthew White's front bumper's back, Cameron Chandler's pitting. He was up in the top 8.
He's gonna try to maybe add some fuel just in case and repair some of his damage after getting somewhat collected in that wreck.
Yeah, top 10 as it stands. Grab, Wilson, Tomlin, Erdman, Roberts, McMillan, Clausen, Davis enters the top 10. Benton and Walker. The car is getting damage repaired. Now looking back towards Matt Grab, to the front of the field. They will be coming to the choose cone this time by. If you're just tuning in, Xfinity practice is after this. I believe an hour after. We just got to clean up the track, make sure it's not littered with debris, so we just blow more tires. But stay tuned for that on Ethan Trendler's channel or the Discord. And yeah, as we got one guy taking the road course, I believe he wanted to race the IndyCar race, but missed it, so just quickly did the good bus stop.
Coming up next after this ARCA race is Xfinity Series practice, the last practice before tomorrow's race. You're gonna see a lot of drivers, even from Cup, doing that race because of how much Daytona means to a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm certainly doing it. I'm full-time Cup this season, but Daytona is the one track I haven't won at in the Xfinity car, so I'm trying to win that, and then I'll probably never touch the Xfinity Series ever again. But here they come to the choose cone.
Yeah, we have also a really recent precedent. You won at Talladega last season in Xfinity, so you have a strong chance of winning tomorrow as Matt Grab chooses the outside lane.
Yeah, certainly. Talladega is almost like this, but much wider. But Daytona is just one of those tracks I haven't been able to win at in this league so far yet. I've won at Atlanta and Daytona, so definitely capitalizing on Daytona will be my end result. Ryan Davis blinking on the top. He's starting 4th behind Grab. Bottom lane Wilson with Tomlin, Erdman behind him. Teammates still there. I swear, the 90, 94 have been together most of this race. 96 have been there here and there, but just hasn't been with them. As I believe we got like 10 cars up here, 11.
Yeah, there's like an elimination race almost right now.
Yeah, I mean 40 laps. Seems like a lot, but truly it isn't. Especially with these pace laps or caution laps that we're going under. It just clocks them down one by one, and now we're gonna be on our first green-white checker. So far we've got 12 cars, maybe 13, 14, maybe 15. We started with 21, and so far most of the field hurt from these wrecks. I know Miller probably still down pit road. There's Stacy coming back. He was our last caution. A couple more cars coming back, but it's all Matt Grab. I believe he's gonna try to duck in line with the 2, but maybe Wilson gets a good restart and Matt Grab gets left out to dry. But here we go to the green. Green flag, it's overtime here at Daytona.
As the flashbulbs just start flashing on the grandstands to record was going to be an awesome finish. Ryan Davis getting pushed, is pushing McGrath, and that outside lane has a lot of momentum coming into the corner. McGrath is clear.
But be careful though, the 90 and the 2 are locked up. Coming out of turn 2. Oh, the 77 making it 3 wide on Benton. Roberts is going to go with him. Brian Davis trying to block. He's stuck in the middle. He's in the sucker hole. And just like that, 4th to almost lap. As they are pushing more and more aggressively through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, sometimes you have to stay with those risks, and sometimes it just goes wrong, almost loses it. Corner, white flag.
White flag out here at Daytona and iCar. Mac Grab on the top has more health than the bottom. He is clear of the 77. So is Bryce Benton, which we were just talking about him in practice. Now out of turn 2, Matthew Wright's up here with no rear end. Ooh, Roberts got loose. Oh, around goes the 77, down towards the apron. Bottom lane gone. Here comes Benton to the bottom. Good grab.
Coming to strike Matthew White spins, contact there, coming to a start finish line. Face only to spins and Cameron Chandler gets it, wrecking.
Spin. It's for Cameron Chandler. The 96. Still on his roof is Cole Clausen coming to a halt. Man, what a finish as Cameron Chandler with a beaten down race car is burning out. He wins at South Boston and now he wins at Daytona.
Yeah, that is going to be a really cool diecast. I mean, first it was Payson. Well, first it was Matt Grab, then it was Payson, and then became Cameron Chandler just like losing the car, and he just goes reverse immediately. And let's see if he's going to spin in the grass or if he's going to reserve it for tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, certainly. You can't even really tell if that's a Chevy or what manufacturer that is with the front end and rear end gone. As here comes I hurt number 94. But it's all Cameron Chandler, victorious at Daytona. And I believe he is our points leader in iCar. What a finish. Top 10. Chandler. This is Mincy. Grab. Wilson. Tomlin. Erdman. Davis. Benton. Clausen. McMillan.
And we have seen now. That was a wild race.
Yeah, let's go back and watch that finish. Yeah, out of turn 4. Here they come to the checker. There goes White, drop to the bottom, turn, grab into the wall, and there it is, up and over goes Clausen off the tire of, I believe, Cameron Chandler, and up and over goes Andrew Stacy.
Yeah, we saw several flips on that finish. It was absolutely wild.
Yeah. Matthew White trying to reverse it back to the line to get a finishing result. And oh my, he just hit Ryan Davis rear tire and up and over. That's what we saw out of Cole Clausen as well. As we're gonna go on board with the number 8. Cameron drops to the bottom. Left contact with the 53 and just got him loose around, burnt momentum and got it to the line. Oh, big hit. As you see the 96 flipping in the background. before with Cole Clausen. Notorious for flipping at super speedways or any track in general, wrecking in front of him. Oh, just hit Payson's car and up and over, got hit by his teammate. In the roof, we're gonna have to make sure he's okay, but just slides to a halt in turn number 1.
Yeah, that must have hurt for sure. I mean, a lot of wrecks right there at the start finish line. It was just chaotic. See how it seems like Mason is gonna win it, then Mac is gonna win it, then Kevin Chandler just wins it, pounding the wall. He must be thankful that engine was still rolling so he could do his burnouts.
Yeah, certainly. We went from Cole Clausen having a car through his windshield at Monza to him having a car through his windshield, but he's upside down. As we're gonna go to interviews in a split second, we're gonna let the interview waiting room fill up real quick. But how do we feel how that race went there, Cheery?
It was just absolutely like what you would expect out of Daytona. I mean, a lot of chaos, a lot of lead changes, a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of aggressiveness. For example, you all saw how the 77 of Nolan Walker just made it 3 wide in the middle at the finish, and just got involved there in that wreck, unfortunately. So that's what I was talking about before the white flag. You have to take a lot of risk in order to try to win this race. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes bad, you know, but you have to, you kind of go end this race with the question of what if I had done this.
Yeah, certainly top 10 running order or finishing results. Cameron, Payson Lindsay, Matt Grab, Wilson, Tomlin, Erdman, Davis, Benton, Clausen, McMillan. 11th on back is going to be Robert, Stacy, Gisbergen. I said Gisbergen. Hunsicker, White, Walker, Reyes. I need to get this hand back over. Reyes, Crane, Miller, Wilkin, which from Reyes on down were just damaged cars. Then Youngblood and 21st will round out the field as Cherry's car was just in the pit road, just there for style, I guess.
Yep. You have to use let some guys just be close to your car, and you have to be kind.
We are going to start dragging the race winner, Cameron Chandler, into the booth to have a word with him. Cameron Chandler, amazing finish here at Daytona and iCar. You go back-to-back from South Boston to Daytona. How we feeling?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought like 12 different times coming up to that we lost the race. We got net code incidents from the 2 of the 3 last incidents, and then I thought going with Mac there off of 4 lost me the race. And honestly, it's sort of, but we unfortunately made a little bit too much contact there and had a pretty big crash coming to the line.
So, Cameron, something that caught my attention was in the first pit stop, you took tires, unlike the rest of the field who took just fuel. Was that just planned to go to the back, or did you want to get some advantage in the rest of the race?
Yeah, so you see the good old TCMC, CWR crew chiefs, they are absolute idiots. And I don't know what they were thinking. So we took 4 tires there, thinking that majority of the field would too, or something. I don't really know what the crew chief was thinking there. And yeah, it put us right in the back of the field. And we drove through the field and got back to the front until we got attacked by Wyatt Youngblood, who unfortunately spun out and half flipped in the infield. But yeah, if it wasn't for the crew chiefs, you know, we probably would have stayed up front longer. So crew chief once again fired. We'll be finding a new one soon.
Like always.
Yeah, like always.
Great to hear that. We'll see you tomorrow in the Xfinity race, I believe, right?
Yep, and in the booth for trucks.
All right. He will be joining me in trucks.
I would like to give a shout out, Lively's Custom Diecast, official diecast producer, FedEx Cup.
All right.
What?
How dare production, aka Ethan Trumler, try to silence me? Ethan Trumler!
All right. So
Alright,
up
anyways,
next,
let's-
up
Up
next we
next.
have Payson Lindsay.
Was there a
Up
bird flying
next
around?
we have Payson Lindsay. All right.
Mason, on an incredible finish for second. How we feeling?
Uh, to be honest, I don't know how I got second out of that. That was probably the worst super speedway race I've ran in my entire career, and we still almost won the race out of that. So honestly, I will take P2. I don't even think we had a top 15 car. I think I had like 5 minutes of optional still left. So P2, I will absolutely take that.
Payson, did you think you had the race won coming off turn 4?
Well, I knew there was always a chance that I couldn't win it off turn 4, even if I had the lead like that. I had a feeling that there was going to be some maneuver made, and there was, and I didn't really have any control over it. It was just kind of a racing deal in the back, and we just got caught up in it. Nothing we could have really done, so P2 will take it, but sucks we can't get a second ARCA championship.
That is Payson Lindsay, everybody. Incredible job, P2 on the week. Coming up next is Xfinity, and I believe he is racing that. So
Yeah, we don't even have the wrap made for that yet. We're going to go out with a black car. Thanks for interviewing me, y'all.
third person we are interviewing.
Should be McGrath, but he's not there, so it's Cole Wilson.
Carl
Hey.
Wilson, incredible finish. What was your words on that finish right there?
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. Happy to come home with fourth, almost spinning it with on the white flag. I do want to apologize for the big one that I caused. I just guess I blocked bumpers with Braden and it turned him around straight in front of the field. Ashton Miller was very upset about it. But ultimately it was a good finish, but I wish we could have won it.
Cole, had that caution not come out, did you think you had a better chance than just with that green white checker? Because you were pushing McGrath really well there.
Yeah, me and Mac were working pretty well together, and then when that caution came out, I think it was CJ behind me, and he off at turn 4 coming to the white flag. I think he just like bumper hooked me, and I almost spun around. So that sent me to the very back. But I got a big run on the backstretch, got back up to the pack, but just didn't have enough time.
Definitely played in your favor there, Wilson. We'll see you next race in the truck series, right?
Yep.
Yep. Cole Wilson, everyone.
Thank you.
Next up on this
Should
leaderboard,
be Eli Tomlin,
Eli Tomlin with what position he finished?
5th.
Eli Tomlin coming with a 5th place finish here at Daytona. What were your thoughts on the final lap?
The final lap was kind of a circus. I realized pretty early that I chose the wrong lane. That I had been so used to the inside having control every restart that I thought picking inside would have been the right move. But looking back on it, I think me and CJ both should have went top to where we could have made a little more noise in the middle. But I still feel like all things considered, I raced the end about as good as I could have.
Eli, same question as Cole Wilson. Did you think you had a better chance at winning the race if that caution did come out with 2 to go?
Absolutely. I mean, I had just made a pass for the lead, and then they had tried to go back around me on the outside, and then just as I was about to try to grab a side draft there from the bottom, immediately Stacy, love him to death, but good lord, that was terrible, cleared himself, and so that gave us that overtime, and ultimately that just wasn't what me or CJ needed. I think we were going to be in a good position to get back up there and draft back to the lead like we did just before that happened. So, I mean, P5, it's not a terrible run, but we're wanting more, and hopefully we can get more the rest of Speedweeks.
Good to hear. Nice place finish on 5th, and we'll see you next race.
All right, appreciate it, Connor. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Coming up next, is CJ Ehrman, who finished in 6th place.
CJ Ehrman with a 6th place finish. Saw you and Eli working together most of the race and couldn't get it off though, but saw that last caution kind of screwed you over. And overall, what could you done better to get back to the lead?
Yeah, I probably when Eli jumped to the middle there on the white flag, I probably should have gone with him. I wasn't confident that move was going to work. I didn't expect the two guys on the bottom. I think 15 and somebody. I didn't expect them to get loose and spin out. Otherwise, I would have gone with Eli. But I probably should have just gone with him from the start. We might have been able to get up alongside second place, maybe the leader, and we probably would have gotten wrecked. But we at least would have had a shot at it, and that was ultimately my biggest mistake. But that caution really saved me because I got shoved onto the apron.
So CJ, for you, I apologize, but I don't have any questions. Just congratulations on the top 6, and good luck for the rest of Speedweeks.
Yeah, thank you.
That was CJ, and next up will be Bryce, right?
Yup, he finished in 8th place, but he's not. Oh yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Bryce Benton, 8th place finish. What a race for you, especially you were up front most of the day, but just fell short of it. What could you have done better to maybe capitalize on that good running and possibly won this race?
Yeah, yeah, it's frustrating. Teammates didn't go with mainly Payson. I thought it was Ryan Davis at first, but because their cars looked identical, so I accused him first. But it was looking back, it was Payson. So I'm not sure what the goal was there for Payson, but yeah, it was just unfortunate. If someone could have went with, if Payson went with when I moved down, we probably could have won, but. I don't know. It is what it is. Still a top 10 finish, and I guess it's a good points day for iCar. So yeah.
So Bryce, how does it feel to be that close to? Because I saw you in the group, I checked, and you had a really great chance to winning your second race in a row here at Daytona, along with the one last night.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I could have got the win. I wasn't really expecting to the whole race to really be in that position to get the win. I was just hoping to get a good finish because it's really tough to win these super speedway races. You have to be in the right place at the right time, and I feel like a lot of times at super speedways I'm not really. So I wasn't really expecting to be in that spot in the end. I was just I don't know. I just wanted to try to get the win, but just at the end of the day, I just still wanted a good point stay for iCar.
Incredible job on that 8th place finish, and we'll talk to you in the truck race.
Yep.
Next up is I see Cole Clausen, so let's add him into here. Cole Clausen, unfortunately ended up on your roof and having your teammate hit you on the roof, but how was your race other than that?
Same issue we had prior to the race.
I don't think he's alive. Maybe he's just passed out, you know.
Might as well.
The hit by McMillan kind of just made him sleepy. So we tried, but that will end it here at Daytona. That was the ARCA series, iCar slash FedEx combination race, and we will see you a little bit later actually for Xfinity practice. Signing out. All right, I was a little bit stuck.